Hey traders from around the world, what's going on? It's me, Jeremy Alexander Newsome with RealLifeTrading.com. Hope you're having a splendidly serendipitous Friday. We got ourselves a SPY, and I had a trader ask me if I could do a wave count on the SPY, and I'm always up for a challenge for a good wave count. What's really interesting is I still think this is some type of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we made the new all-time high on the 5, and this was a 4, 5. And what we're now getting is some type of A, B, C type of movement. So I'm still on the fence for going a little bit lower or going a little bit higher. This was obviously a retest gap that was going to retest. I mean, I was talking about that all day yesterday in the stock review. I was like, guys, just get ready for this retest gap to get filled. White candle gapping up, and we had already, I mean, the SPY has already gone from 260 to 280 in 2 weeks. I mean, that's a 20-point move. That's huge. So we got a great, very pretty gap down on the SPY today, right? You had that high wave bullish candle. The low was 279.22. The open of today, 279.03. Look at this 3-minute high wave bullish candle on the SPY. What an easy setup. And I missed it. I did not take this trade, but their entry would have been there, stop would have been up here, and just beautiful. Could have done that with puts, shares, doesn't matter. Amazing gap and go on the daily chart on SPY, clearing the low of the day, and today was a great day for day traders. In fact, my boy Blake Anderson and us teaming up for almost 4 R's on the day. Between the three of us, getting some day trades in between Square, Yelp, Activision, CenturyLink, and Facebook. So yeah, so today was a really, really good day for the day traders. Anyway, so that's pretty much SPY. I mean, what I think personally will happen is we're going to form what is appearing to be some type of inverted head and shoulders pattern. So I still think that we could go one more lower move eventually. I just don't know exactly when that's going to happen. But this is an S-curve for all intents and purposes on the hourly chart. So if we look at the hourly chart, right, you got the retest gap right here, and this is realistically the retest of that gap. So as long as we don't break or take out the low of really today, then I think there's easily a chance that the SPY bounces here and we go a little bit higher. Notice how many white candles you had in a row on the hourly chart on the SPY. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So, I mean, this retracement was just too obvious. Anyway, so the Qs fill that retest gap. So this retest gap from 2 days ago, those have filled. And again, very similar to this retest gap right here, white candle gapping up. You got the retest, a little bit of a lower shadow. So if we bounce on Monday and start going higher, that's totally understandable. And I'm fine if that occurs. And if it doesn't, then you have a little bit of an evening star-esque type of pattern, and we trade sideways a day or two and break this lower, then I still think we come back down and form a relative low around 160-ish on the Qs, and we start to bounce, which is exciting because that's going to make next week a really important week. Dow Jones ETF, again, evening star-esque type of pattern, pretty decent bearish candle here with volume. Still got this retest gap that could fill, and we still have this retest gap down here that could fill as well. So here's the weekly. Now again, all weekly candles look good. It just says to me that, you know, we pull back and have a little bit of a rest, retest. On the Dow Jones itself, the ETF, the diamonds, I'd love to see us pull back and retest about 255. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I think it will. And pull back and then a bounce would be brilliant. But most likely, I still think, and I've been mentioning this, that we're going to make new all-time highs again and just slowly keep climbing higher. So yeah, the day trades on the day, here was Square. And this is the play that I did on Square. I think this was a really good trade that I did on Square. A lot of traders yesterday and or today are selling some puts down here at 60. Keep in mind that's $13 away from where Square is right now. This pink line is what I was mentioning is I think worst case scenario. Today's a small little bullish candle. on Square. So yeah, if we break this low, especially with a gap, or we close below this low, I think that this retest gap that we had over here could fill. And then yeah, we'll trade down a little bit below the 200, barely go lower than 64.49, and then start bouncing on Square. Again, worst case scenario. But here's how we played it. Here's the 3-minute chart, and the first 3-minute candle got that bullish candle on a 3-minute chart, and the very next candle took out that low. So our entry was here with the stop right here, and when it traded down, traded up, and started rolling over, you'll see this blue arrow. That's actually where I exited. Now I normally don't exit early, but I was looking at it, I just kind of felt it, honestly. Looking at the moving averages, I'll be posting a video that I did for Mentorship Monday pretty soon about parallel moving averages. I felt that those were just really nice parallel averages. So I want to get out early because I lost 1R on the Micron Technology weekly options newsletter setup. I really like this trade a lot, and it did not work, unfortunately. And fortunately / unfortunately for you all, I actually lost a wager on this one. So I think I'm like 0 for 4 right now with some option trades just of recent, and that's kind of pretty frustrating when you start going on a losing streak, right? It's never fun. So in order for that to break, you know, what I do is I start putting a lot of pressure on myself and looking for the best setups possible and only taking the best. But I do have to wear a mustache now for the rest of November. So yeah, I'll be posting some pictures of that next week. Mustache November is going to be happening for Newsome. I've never worn a mustache personally, and I'm not looking forward to that. I really wanted that trade to work, and it didn't. Got stopped out today. So the reason I exited Square early, trying to get back to what I was saying, the reason I'm exiting early is because I was up on this one about 0.3 Rs, wasn't very much at all. And let me exile this, delete this, delete that. Why is that not deleting? Okay. Sorry, the lines are being weird. And then I had another trade on SWKS that I took on the 3-minute chart. And, you know, these are all posted in Slack and everything. Big bullish candle on a 3-minute. We traded up, we traded down, we retested the previous low of the day, and you got this candle. Very small, high wave, bullish candle on a 3-minute. Entry was 77.10. Stop was up here somewhere, and this green, the blue arrow is where I exited for 1R. And I got out there, again, because you had those beautiful parallel moving averages. It was a new low of the day break. I just felt like we were going to bounce. And remember, I had just lost an R on Micron Technology. And between the two, between Skyworks and Square, I was up 1.32 Rs. So I was like, okay, if I exit right now, I can guarantee myself a profit. I didn't like the way the candles were moving. I didn't really like the shape. I didn't like the parallel moving averages. So I bailed and did the right move, did the right call. Even though it did end up rolling down again later in the day, and my buddy Charles Wade took that for a small gain. You know, again, this is a really pretty stock to day trade. If you guys want to back trade this one, this was beautiful. But anyway, then I had a swing trade on BZUN that got stopped out by pennies. So this was a double bottom that I was trying to play, and bottom line, it just didn't work. So I had 2 half-an-hour entries, and the fact that we actually gapped down this morning saved me on BZUN because I had a limit buy at 42.55. So when it opened, I got filled a little bit lower than 42.55, obviously. So I got stopped out of that one later in the afternoon for a 0.8 R loss. So since I was only up 1.3 and I lost 1 on Micron, that was up 0.32 Rs, and then I lost 0.85 Rs on this trade. So I was down in the hole negative 0.5 Rs. So I was looking, and then I ended up finding this trade on Facebook. By the way, Facebook still looks weak to me. The last trade I took on it was a bullish trade on this day, on November 2nd, seeing if it was going to pop out of the moving averages, and it didn't. Once it closed below those 3 candles here on the 5th of October, That's why I was letting everyone know, all right, if you're in Facebook long, either with leaps or shares or whatever, just look to buy some puts as a protection. Because, yeah, Facebook still looks a little on the weak side. So anyway, here was the 5-minute chart. And when I was looking at Facebook, this is when I started noticing it, was right about here. So it traded down, posted, and then started trading sideways. So once it did this, I pulled it up. I looked at all these buying candles. I liked the setup. Here was the 15-minute chart, and the 15. This is when I actually got triggered into the trade. I saw this pattern, and as you all know, that is a falling 3 candlestick pattern. So I liked that trade a lot. Thought it was pretty. Zoomed into the 5, and did a limit sell. Actually, did a stop limit. So my stop was here. Below the low of this candle and this candle. Since you had 1, 2, 3, 4 bearish candles in a row, I was very confident that it would retest. So I did a 145.05 limit sell, even though I should have done a 145.21. That's what my brain was saying. It broke down, triggered its in, retested, got filled on the limit, held through the retracement, boom, boom, held through this retracement, boom, and then lowered the stop down. Got very close to the 2R target on Facebook. There was the 2R target right here. So a good old 12 cents away from the target on Facebook. But that was good for an R, which put me up on the day. So my day trading, still paying for my swing trading habit right now until the market can rest and kind of chill out a little bit. I had a lot of people ask me about swing trading right now, and ladies and gentlemen, swing trading is tough. There's no question about it. Anytime you get a really, really choppy market like we're in right now, swing trading will be very, very difficult. So if I wasn't trading for a living and didn't have the opportunity to actively look at the market, actively day trade, I probably wouldn't be doing a lot of swing trades right now, mostly long term. Whatever the positions are in. So, for example, Netflix, I do think Netflix is going to go down a little bit lower. This was a nice retest right here. Here's the weekly chart on Netflix, and it looks a little double topish still on the weekly chart. So be keeping an eye out for Netflix, because my thought actually is that, here's back to the daily. My thought is that something like this will probably come in again, where we get a little bit of a retest of this retest gap, and unless Facebook closes above 377.51, then I'll kind of just keep waiting. But as you all know, really since earnings, I've been kind of bearish on Facebook, expecting it to go lower and eventually hit 300, which it did. And at this point, my next target on Netflix, I said Facebook, Netflix is 348.40. So I'm not saying it's going to go down that low. I'm just simply saying if you're playing it, I think the bears have a little bit more strength right now on Netflix. Here's Disney, ticker symbol DIS. Disney had really good earnings, and people flocking to the parts in record numbers. Decent bullish gap and go, just never posted anything spectacular that I liked, unless you got in very, very early and rode that quick move up. That was really the only way to play Disney. So yeah, some definite chop. China going down a little bit lower still. So you have JD.com. So JD going down what seems like a little bit lower. Alibaba has an inside weak candle. So that'll be fun. So Baba inside week after another high wave. So you have 2 high wave candles back to back on Baba. Singles day, I believe, is Sunday on Alibaba. So a few people keeping their eyes peeled for hopefully some bullish movement out of here on Baba. But Tencent came back down to fill that retest gap that it had back here from the 31st and the 1st of October. And earnings around the corner on Tencent. Here's the long-term moving averages, and you still got that 200. So as long as we don't close below this low, which I don't expect, but we certainly could. I'm not saying we can't. If we do, we're going to continue to get a lot of selling on China. If we don't, we should hold up relatively well. Time will tell. Be fearless, ladies and gentlemen. Understand that this is a pretty wild and choppy market. Be fast, be quick, risk small, Day trade as much as you can, because day trading is going to be where it's at for the foreseeable future. Longer term trades are fine. Swing trading is just going to be a little bit harder. Because we are in some swing trades, right? Procter and Gamble, right? We're in a swing trade on Procter and Gamble. That's working out okay. KLAC, we're in a swing trade. That one's all right. WHR, Whirlpool, it's okay. Delta Airlines, for example, DAL in that one. So there's still some swing trades out there that can be had. Just know that they're tough. Expect to get stopped out. Expect the whipsaws. This market is designed to do that. And just weather the storm if you're a swing trader, or zoom into different time frames, or just be in cash, protect yourself, and until you can find just that perfect setup that you like, the one that you really look for. Cash is king, and cash is a position, my good friends. All right, team, I'm out. The weekend is upon us. I will see you all on Monday, and until then, love life, and trade it. Bye.